Hey, what's up? This is Jared Gray with the Head-to-Head podcast with my co-host, my man Nino, and my man Russ up here. I'm getting my hands right. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Sometimes
Nino,
sad,
first.
sometimes happy.
Sometimes you're wearing an Edmonds jersey. If you got everybody that doesn't see the video, my man's got an Edmonds jersey on. He's a riser on one of our group, a faller on another. Tonight we're doing our risers and fallers for the it's here. It's game week, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to do our top 5 fallers, top 5 risers. Nino, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I just, put the kids to bed. Was my twin 4-year-old's birthday today, so that was a little hectic. But, I'm ready to talk some football. It's right there. With college football just ended first week this weekend. It's here. It's crazy that it's here. I feel like it came up so fast, but I can't wait.
It is crazy. Just real quick hit on college football. I lost my parlay bet by 2 points. 2 points on a 6-game parlay. I'm so depressed about it. Like, it was a great game. Don't get me wrong. Houston let me down, though. The -4 went -2 on me. Oh, all right. I'm done. I'm done on my soapbox. Done on my soapbox.
1-0 on American soil. That's all I'm going to say.
My man Russ is a Nebraska fan. My man Russ is a Nebraska fan. I mean, I think we all agree though. After watching that first half, your boy Scott Frost is out the door after the OU game, no matter what.
Yeah. No, he's got to at least tell Indiana because there's a bye week. And
the bye week. Yeah, it's buyout too. The change. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Go from 15 million.
Oh, the buyout changed. I thought the buy was good till after the OU game.
No, I think it's
after week
1st.
7.
But as far as looking at it logistically, if you're going to do that, you're going to wait for that bye week, get that transition, rip the Band-Aid off. But to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me though. He's going to finish out the season. I would project.
It's half the money. It literally is like half the money. It goes from like 16 to 7. So
yeah,
he gone either way. This is last year's done for me.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm so mad at him personally.
You shit.
Do it.
Hey, I do know this. Out of the 3 of us, I'm the only team that's undefeated.
On American soil, 1-0.
I'm undefeated. You guys are. So, all right. Tonight, Nino did a little better homework than the rest of us, but mine's usually just in my head anyway. We're going to do top 5 risers first, or are you going to do top 5 followers first, ladies and gentlemen?
You better let me get my risers. That way you guys can, dog on.
So we can smash on you 100%.
Hey.
You know what? I got you.
I got you.
All right, Russ.
All right.
Give me your top 5 risers and tell me why.
All right. Well, I'm going to first start off with Nick Bolton. He was changed his number now to number 32. So, we had Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, that number. So he's going to have to represent, first of all. Was on a 60% on average snap count last season for plenty of room for growth there. Capitalize on higher snap counts. Anthony Hitchens is no longer there. And when your head coach is noticing your guys stepping up, I mean, that's got to be a plus as well. And then the big one, wearing the big jersey, I think it's a make or break year for him, and that's Tremaine Edmonds. I mean, this guy is at Virginia Tech, athletic freak. Figured he'd be like Brian Urlacher 2.0. It just hasn't worked out that way. They get Von Miller on the defensive line. Maybe some of that will kind of funnel everything to come to the inside, and he can get all them tackles. Max Crosby, goes without saying, that guy has got a motor like none other. He's got Chandler Jones that came in on the other side. I know he's aging, but I think he can still help maybe draw some double team. So Crosby could have that potential, maybe even to break the sack record. I'll go ahead and say that. Miles Jack, Mike Tomlin comes calling. You answer the phone. He tells you want to play behind one of the top defensive lines in the league. I don't know how you say no to that. I feel what he did at Jacksonville, and I'm not saying for a riser for him, like he's going to be a top 12 guy, but he finished a little bit outside the top 50. I could see him sneaking for sure, maybe into the 30s, maybe into your top 24-ish would probably be pushing it, but he's definitely, I think, going to climb some spots. And then last but not least, Cameron Curl. According to Pro Football Focus, this guy finished third in all categories when it comes to run defense, run defense, pass rush, and coverage. So the guy is versatile as hell. He played defensive snaps all over the place at free safety, slot corner, in the box, on the defensive line, and even outside corner. So the versatility in him, I could see him. I mean, I know Jeremy Chin's young, and hopefully he's going to have a boom season, but I see Cameron Curl following those footsteps of Jeremy Chin as far as productivity. So those are my 5 risers.
Okay. I don't know where my man Nino went.
All right. Well, I'll go. You want to?
Nope.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm good. I'm just going to comment on it real quick. Overall, really decent list. And Nino has got your boy Edmonds in his faller list, so we'll get to that later. Max Crosby, he's not a riser for me. That dude has been a stud, and you know that I've been on Max Crosby. I thought he was the steal of the draft, being a 4th-round draft pick. I said, you know what? Very possible he could be the guy that nobody talks about this season. And I honestly think he should have won the defensive rookie of the year. And even though they gave us a Nick Bosa, he had better stats in almost every category except for quarterback hurries. So Max Crosby's not a riser. He's cream of the crop for me personally. Cameron Curl kind of right there with you. That's a guy that I've been on. I think all of us have been kind of been on. He did come a little bit out of nowhere last year or the year before, and he just kind of stuck with it. That defense isn't very good. As much as they keep talking about how good that defense is, that overall that linebacking core isn't great. Jamie Davis isn't what we really want him to be. Cole Holcomb is good, and it's just how it is. For me, I'm going to go over my top 5. My man Nino's got some issues, so we're going to go over mine real quick. My top 5 risers, currently Rashaan Evans. I liked him sitting next to Deion Jones. I think he's one of the better linebackers that coming out of Alabama in the last 5-6 years, and now he's going to be in a position where he's going to get a lot of tackles. He could have one of those 4 years. I mean, Devondre Campbell's look good again, there. Michael Walker's look good. Oluokun has looked really good in that same position. Now we get to see Rashaan Evans, who I think was a better recruit than all those guys coming out of college. And I think he has a massive year, to be honest with you. Malcolm Rodriguez is on everybody's risers, but that's only because they're watching,
Hard
Knocks. But Malcolm Rodriguez came at Oklahoma every game. I think he had like 13 tackles in one game as a senior. He's the real deal. He's just got a good motor, like Max Crosby does. Different position, same motor. Marcus Davenport is actually climbing for me. He's been a guy that I really haven't liked personally, and I have a guy, Billy, that is actually trying to trade me. Maybe I'll trade him before we post this, and then he'll get to hear it later. But this does go out tonight. So for the right price, I'm telling you, Marcus Davenport is climbing real fast. He's really filled in well ever since Henderson left there. And he's kind of been the guy. He did get his finger amputated, a part of his finger amputated. Hey, last guy that did that had a monster year. So maybe we get another monster year out of Davenport.
He didn't have no
Montez Sweat. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right about that. Montez Sweat, for me, has always been a guy that I thought was a steal of the draft because even though I get his first rounder 100%, but he dropped because there was a rumor, right? I'm pretty sure he was a heart murmur kid, right?
I think so, yeah.
And he's dropped, and he's been nothing but good. He broke his jaw last year, left it'd be interesting to see how he comes out of that. But with Chase Young being the premier target there, he's out right now. You've watched their main guy, who's been there forever, has finally retired. And I think we really see Montez Sweat take a huge jump this year. I'm going to call double-digit sacks, 11 sacks. My man Nino is finally back. He's jammed up there for a second. Had some technical difficulties. We're almost done with my list. We're going to get right to you, Nino. Last on my list for risers is Jalen Petrie. I want to throw a rookie in here. I want to see a guy that we really could see do really well and come in. And I think that's really we're going to see that out of Jalen Petrie. We see a little bit out of him during the, preseason and what he's capable of. And obviously, like I saw him at Baylor, and that guy is a linebacker playing safety. He does remind me a lot of Jeremy Chin because he's very similar size, height, weight, stature, and he's a ball hawk and he goes after it. And he's got no problem come downhill and hit you in the mouth. And I love Petrie because of that.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's a good list.
Got any reason to come at me a little bit?
Well, I don't know. The Marcus Davenport, I thought he would be a lot better, a lot quicker, kind of like Edmonds was, but maybe he's kind of a late bloomer. So hopefully, he gets some more production sacks wise and some tackle for loss.
He was injured quite a bit his rookie season.
What
so
was that deal? Okay.
That's just, he didn't play hardly at all because of it. And that's been the biggest thing is what he's done since then. Last year was a really kind of a breakout year. He had 9 sacks last year. I think I'm gonna have to check his stats top of my head real quick. He had 9 sacks. He had 39 tackles, combined tackles. I got to check his tackles for loss. We're pretty solid. He just really has grown up because in 2020 he only had 1.5 sacks. So, and the year before that he was injured the whole year. So, I think we really see a big jump out of Marcus Davenport again this year. I'll take 10, 11 sacks again. He hit 9 last year. I think 45 tackles-ish. I think that's a good spot for him, 45 to 50 tackles. But I think we hit 11 sacks this year and a few more tackles for loss. He's got to be the new anchor, especially with the line getting a little older. He's got to be the guy. And I think we're really going to see that this year.
I can see that. I agree there. I mean, I like the two guys you got.
Nino.
Yeah.
All right. I need your 5. Let me hear you.
All right. So, first, I have Nick Bolton out of Kansas City. Then I got Jalen Thompson, Arizona. Zach Cunningham, my guy. I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to say it anyway. Camus Gruja Hill. And this last name, Talanu Hugagana. I always mess them up. Those are my guys. Now, Nick Bolton. Dog. All right. 16 games played. Started 12. 112 tackles. 70 solo. 11 tackles for loss. Kid's a monster. I think teaming him up, with Leo Chanel as a rookie, and those big dogs up front, he's just going to eat. He's going to keep rising. He could top 10 linebacker, possibly this year. All right. You already know how I feel about Zach Cunningham. He was in the other ones that we talked about, as well as Jalen Thompson. But Cunningham has a great opportunity now with Landry out with an ACL injury. It's just plug in, play, reap them benefits. Homeboy is going to rise up this year. Unfortunately, it's due to an injury, but it is what it is. Granger Hill, I think a lot of people are sleeping on this guy. 108 tackles, 71 solo, 13 tackles for loss, 3 pass defenses, a pick, 2 forced fumbles. He finished last year 24th in fantasy defensively over on IDP. This guy is going to eat. Houston's going to be on the field a lot. So he's a guy to keep your eye out for. And obviously, San Francisco with that young guy in the backfield, he only started 3 games. He's going to be the starter this year. He's going to be a general at secondary. So I see his numbers just doubling.
I love the Grugier Hill pick. He is a dude. I'm a huge fan of Grugier Hill, and I think that he is going to step up, be big. He has got some good guys in front of him. Greenard, Okawanko, both in front of him. Really solid guys on each side. Kursky next to him. So he's going to be – I don't trust Kirksey's health. So I do love their new rookie, but we don't not see what we're going to get out of him yet. So overall, I do love that list. I think we all agree that Nick Bolton could be a top 10 guy. Nick Bolton legit could be a top 15 dynasty linebacker. So here's my question to you. And both of you have him as your number one riser. And that's the only reason I didn't put him on my list. Would you package a deal? Would you try to get would you give up Roquan for Bolton and somebody else?
What's the somebody else?
Like, and if you're the other guy, let's go with like an older defensive lineman or something, but a good one. Let's go with. I mean, not Aaron Donald because he's old, but you could say, hey, this is a dynasty league. Let me give you this guy and Roquan for Aaron Donald and somebody else, because you're taking the risk trying to take Aaron Donald on. But if you're win now, but take a dynasty, you're giving a great for great, right? Roquan for Aaron Donald. But if you could get Nick Bolton out of the deal, wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be. Yeah, I'm on the hit the accept button side. I'm like 55-45 right now. Nick Bolton's a dog, and he's going to be doing it for a long time.
Well, Roquan's still young.
I'm with you.
Too,
I think that he's the dude.
What's that, Russ?
I was gonna say,
Roquan's not old. Let's not get his twisted.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know.
But if you could get a 2-for-1 out of Roquan, if you could get a top 10 linebacker and maybe even a top 10, another position for Roquan, wouldn't you do it?
I think when it comes to dynasty, maybe depending on my roster construction, I'd almost want a draft pick.
Yeah, that's not bad either. I agree there. I wouldn't mind taking maybe
like a 2 or 3
Nick
or something.
Yeah, I was going to say a third rounder.
So you say Nick Bolton in a first rounder? What about a first rounder?
Done. Smash.
Yeah.
Done. 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 Dude.
Absolutely.
You got to think though, right? In a lot of aspects, that first pick right there, that you're talking, it's basically around 14.
Bro,
so
how far off 15, do you think Bolton,
16 in some leagues?
In fantasy, right? How far off do you think Bolton finishes this year from Roquan, if not better?
I think he finishes behind Roquan, no problem. 30 points.
How many? How many spots is that overall?
30 points.
So what would that be overall? Like, he goes like 3 spots different?
I'd say 6, probably 6.
6 spots?
Yeah, it's possible.
So 6 spots worth of first round draft pick? Yep. Yep. That's simple. That's it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
For me.
I'm with you. Hey, if that number 1 could be Will Anderson.
Yes, it could be. Yes, it could be. Hey, I didn't hear.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
I was in technical difficulty land when you were reading off your list. So, is your reasoning for Sweat? I mean, I like Sweat. I think he's a great player. But is your reasoning for him rising because Young's probably not at 100% yet?
Oh, Young's not even playing the first 4 games.
That's what I'm saying.
But I've always been a Montez Sweat guy. I mean, he was definitely one of my top 10 or top 20 guys from our rookie IDP 4-1 guys when he first came out of college. And I said from the get-go, and you can ask Russ, I think that they're one of the teams that put that rumor out.
Right.
That, he's got a heart issue, this and that. And if you look at the clock, they smashed that. Like, hey, we're 6 seconds in. Montez Sweat was picked up. You're like, they had their guy from the get-go.
Yeah, it was locked in. I agree.
I have this weird feeling like they put that out there.
That's a good conspiracy theory.
Well, and they got good defensive line overall with Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a solid group of guys, too.
Yeah, dudes. I mean, if they can figure out their linebacking core, which here's the thing. How is Blake Martinez not on that team right now?
I'm happy.
I'd have called that dude 50 times and like, listen, bro, you've been killing us. How about you come over to our team? and we'll make you look good because we do have a great defensive line.
How's he not on the Giants still?
Micah McFadden.
Hey, they mutually. And we'll get there because he's on my follower list. But all right. All right, since we skipped here a little, we had Russ as his top 5. Nino, let me give you let's go opposite order. Nino, me, and then Russ. Actually, I'll go last because I got some names I probably shouldn't have on there, but I'm doing it anyway. But I can still say the same about Nino. Nino, give me your top 5 followers.
All right. Well, number 1 is
or flushes if we're talking about it.
Yeah, Shaquille Leonard's 1. I got Carlton Davis 2, Jermaine Edmonds 3. Jesse Bates 4 and Kyle Van Noy 5. All right, go ahead. Jarod, destroy me. Do whatever you want to do. I know you want to rip me apart already, but with Van Noy,
here's my deal.
Go ahead. Take me out.
You know what? Let me hear your argument, and then we'll go with that. Give me your reasons.
All right. Well, obviously with Shaq Leonard, I mean, he had 122 tackles. He's a dog. I get it. He's top dog probably. You're a linebacker with a back injury. Instantaneously, to me, that's fall. Fade. I'm not really going to try to get you at your ADP. I'm worried, all right? So I'm fading him. But I already spoke to you guys kind of off about Jermaine Edmonds. It's kind of been up and down a little bit for me with him. And then when it's up, it's not so much up. They went out and drafted that 3rd-round pick. So I feel that he's there to light the fire. It's either put up or shut up for Edmonds. Bates, but they got Dax Hill for a reason. Homeboy came back after I'm holding out for my money. Now he's gonna play on the contract on the tag because he's gonna try to make more. Dude, Bates is a fade. All right, Dax Hill's the guy. Fade him. Kyle Van Noy. Every time he leaves the Patriots, his numbers drop. Dude, he comes to the Patriots to get a bag. It's a fact. He went to Detroit, terrible. He went to Miami, terrible. He comes to the Patriots. He fits the scheme. He gets numbers up, goes get a nice fat check, stinks. So fade Van Noy. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just gonna crash this list except for one guy. Now I understand Shaq Leonard being on a follower list, right? Because I don't trust his back. He's with me on the follower list, and he's on most people's top 10 linebacker dynasty. I don't trust the back. Okay, I'm with you. I'm 100%. Back surgery is a different world. Okay, he's had 2 surgeries in the offseason. Kind of worried about both, right, to be honest with you. And he said it's the back gave him the issue. But he's back week 1. So, hey, I hope he shuts us all up and he comes out and balls out. Like, I hope he does. But I'm with you on the follower list. However, Jesse Bates is holding out because he's been a top 3 safety for 5 years. I mean, it don't matter who's sitting next to him. Von Bell, Williams, everybody, he stayed there. He's been the guy. Williams left, he dropped. Von Bell came in from the Saints, he's dropped. Bates is the deal. Now, don't get me wrong. They brought in Dax Hill. But they didn't bring Dax Hill in to remove Bates. They brought Dax Hill to remove Von Bell. But Von Bell's old. Dax Hill next to Von Bell, I'm telling you right now, that's going to be scary for years to come. So I'm sorry. I got Jesse Bates. The only reason he dropped in drafts is because he was holding out. That dude's going to get his. So I'm sorry. He ain't on my favorite list at all. Carlton Davis, 100%. That's CD Lamb going to put that dude on skates all week 1. So I'm with you. Carlton Davis is the biggest fade in football compared to what he did last year because he gonna get embarrassed week 1 because they're gonna try to put him on CD, and CD looks fast to me. Like I've been a Lamb fan. If you've seen him, that dude legit looks faster in camp right now. It's crazy. So I'm with you. Tremaine Edmonds. One guy's got him as a riser. One guy got him as a faller.
Not top 3, he's a faller, right?
Well, I disagree with that, and because he wasn't even top 10 last year. If he falls out of the top 20, he's a follower. If he stays in the top 20, he's a riser.
Yeah,
We agree?
Okay.
Okay, but I'm with you. It's put up or shut up time, and I don't think he's gonna put up, bro. He's gonna get shut up. So I don't like him as a riser personally. I sold that dude for a second round draft pick like it was nothing. So thanks, buddy. Give me that draft pick. Have a good day. Kyle Van Noy. Here is my only issue here, right? Van Noy is a defensive and do-it-all linebacker. The coach loves him. He's currently starting at the inside linebacker position because Murray is coming back from shoulder surgery and ankle surgery, by the way. So now Murray's back, but I think they're going to ease him in. So Kyle Van Noy is definitely not a complete fade for me because I think he's going to play six to 900 snaps. Like I truly believe that. I think they're going to move him everywhere. He go play inside linebacker, and then they're gonna try to give Mack and Bosa some rest. He gonna move there and bring Murray in, and then gonna switch him back. I really think that's gonna happen in the first 2 or 3 weeks. That dude is not gonna come off the field probably, and if he and I'm with you on the faller aspect because if he fails, he gone. But if he succeeds, he's a steal for them because they got him for nothing. All right. Really, really solid list. My man, Russ, not really sure about this list, Russ, but let me have it, bro. It's funny because you took one guy, threw him in the trash, and you brought the other guy and said, nah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got for me, Russ? What do you got for me?
For my followers, and this is really no in particular order. And when I bring this first guy up, it's more just out of disappointment, and I understand he's been injured, but that's Jonathan Abram. Along with also not staying healthy, you need to be available. And when you're not good at pass coverage, that's not good. There is some talk they want to do some 3 safety sets, so maybe he's down in the box a little bit more. And there's also been rumor that maybe he doesn't stick to the scheme. So if a guy's not going to stick to the scheme, he's not going to be on the field. So I have a little bit of worrisome there. Trevon Diggs. I know he had a great year last year. I think it's just a little bit of regression. I don't know if they're going to target his side of the field anymore that much. So maybe he loses some opportunities from his 11 interceptions and 21 pass breakups from last year. Eric Kendricks. When I'm fading this guy, it's not like, he's not going out of the top 24. They did get Jordan Hicks, and when Jordan Hicks plays along with some good linebackers, he tends to get his, and I don't know, picking the right guy as far as if you're going by ADP, you're going to get Jordan Hicks later, kind of like my next guy, that the only reason why I'm fading him, and that's Matt Milano, is because I got Tremaine Edmonds going up. And I understand Matt Milano is a lot better in pass coverage, and he's a great athlete, but I need my man to pull through this year with Tremaine Edmonds. So if not, I guess we'll move on to Bernard possibly. And then last but not least, Robert Quinn. I'm not going to bring up his age or anything. I'm just going to bring up the fact that sometimes you keep guys around for good locker room and good mentorship. And when you got Travis Gibson there, I think that's a guy that's going to come in on a rotational deal and be able to put numbers up with pretty, I won't say minimal, but not like your average snap count throughout the season, whether you want to call that 500 snaps or so or whatever. I know Aaron Donald got like over 100 or 1,000 snaps. So if he can get, 500 to 600 snaps for Gibson, I think that's great. But Robert Quinn, I just don't think, I think there's going to be a little bit more rotation there. So that's my guys there for fallers. And I hope I'm wrong on almost all of them, to be honest. But I've had these guys before in the past, and I don't know if it's just because I'm holding the grudge, but I'm sick of it. They need to put up, or I'm done with them.
I'm gonna let Nino come at you first, and then obviously they head to head. We're gonna bump heads, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're here for. We're gonna give some whether we agree or don't agree. But Nino, let me hear your constructive criticism, if you have any, of my guy. Oh, I lost him. So we lost Nino, but I'm going to give you my constructive criticism real quick. First things first. Robert Quinn had 18.5 sacks and 50 tackles last year.
Duly noted.
You can fall off from that. You can fall off from that. But if he's still double digits, is he a faller?
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but
tell me this.
You want a high floor.
If he puts up similar stats, okay. If he puts up similar stats to Max Crosby, and they're both double digits, is he a riser or a faller?
Yeah, he'd be a riser. I'll give you that.
Okay, because I'm gonna tell you, I think he gets 12 sacks.
Crosby to be top 3 defensive line position.
Ooh. Top 3.
Absolutely. Now I'm not counting your edge, TJ Watts. I'm talking strictly DL guys, DN. I'm not going to count.
I still think that he's a dude, but like I said, I'm always on the train.
Right.
I just think Robert Quinn is too good still, and I understand he's 32, right? I get it.
Right.
But like I said, he had 18.5 sacks, and he looked better with Khalil Mack off the field. So, it's just the facts. When Khalil Mack got hurt, Robert Quinn became a dude. So, there's a reason why he wanted more money. I don't care if it's his last year to look good. Hey, I feel like if you got one more year out of him or 2 more years out of him at Chicago, good on you, because he's going to be on the field. He looked good at Dallas. He's looked good, at Chicago since he's been there. Your other guys, I agree on Jonathan Abram. Just haven't seen him expect what for someone who talks that much, you need to show up, bro. Like it's
right.
It's a thing. Yeah,
like I said,
Eric Kendricks is a tough one for me.
I understand.
Okay,
that.
and I'm with you. I have Jordan Hicks on every team I have, I think. Because Jordan Hicks just balls out wherever he goes. Doesn't matter. He's good everywhere. And that's a good defense for him to succeed in.
Absolutely.
Eric Hendricks has been dealing with a little injury, getting a little older. I get it. They brought in Brian Asamoah, who looks really good. He looks really good in camp. But they're old in general from the linebacker. They need to get younger. Their lead safety is 37 years old. Smith. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their lead safety, Harrison Smith, is old. So he's 33, 34. It's his last year to shine, probably. I'm not paying him much longer. In general, he's already getting paid in general. So, for me, overall, Trevin Diggs, I completely agree. He won't do it what he did last year. I think he has maybe 1 or 2 interceptions. Honestly, I think
he gets
burned deep as much as he makes big plays. So,
yeah,
I'm not as high on Trevon Diggs as a lot of people, and if I have him on my team, I'm selling high. I probably do have 11 interceptions, bro. Come on, You need him on your team. It's funny because I have somebody that did something very similar on mine. All right, my fallers, Shaq Leonard. He's there. I just don't trust his back. I've got him as a faller. He's on the top 5 on everybody's list. So if he finishes outside the top 15, guess what? He's a faller. All right, that's 10 spots. And he could finish out top 20 if he gets injured again. Then he's gone, right?
Right.
If he injures his back, it's over. He probably hangs it up. I don't see him come back from if he has dual back surgeries. So a back surgery scares me. It legitimate scares me. And I've kind of been fading him. From the very first show, I think I've been fading him, and we'll see. I hope he proves me wrong. I keep saying it. I hope he really does. Yeah. My cornerback that I'm fading is J.C. Jackson. Just like the New England Patriots fade him because, hey, bro, we're not going to pay you. You can find out that money somewhere else and see if we feel like we got a good scheme over here, and we don't need to pay people to play at New England. We've got 7, championships. Have a good day. So that's just who New England is, and that's who they're going to stay, and they're going to get us somebody for cheaper. and that's what they're doing. And they've done pretty well. I mean, Wade has actually turned into a pretty good backup overall. Listen, I know you have Miles Jacks on your riser list.
Hey,
That dude, he just ain't that good to me.
I understand, but when you're going to the Steelers, I mean, you're going to play behind that line.
Let's talk about this.
He
had 130 tackles and finished outside the top 40, bro.
Oh, outside the top 50, bro. I hear you. I mean, he's got nothing but due to go up. Like
I mean, if you're the guy and if you're the guy and whether you love it or hate it, he's had a good defensive line in front of him. He had Campbell in his prime. He had Ngakoue in his prime. He had Josh Allen in his rookie year. And Miles Jack was not a top 20 linebacker with that entire group.
He was just learning how to play linebacker in the NFL level, though, right? I mean, he played.
No, he wasn't. He been 3 years before Josh Allen.
Yeah,
he ain't young, bro. I don't care what we talking about. He ain't got better.
No, I'm saying
here's what's worse. Here's what's worse. Let's really talk about this. This dude cannot tackle. He leads the league in tackle miss rate. Leads the league.
Why is Mike Tomlin?
He's just whipped, bro. I mean,
why is Mike
because
Tomlin
he's cheap. Cheap.
Devin
That's
Bush
how.
Not that good. How come we ain't talking about him?
Hey, ever since Devin Bush hurt his knee in his rookie season, he ain't done nothing. Devin Bush was probably the rookie of the year before he got injured.
Yeah.
Look at the stats. He had 60 tackles by week 8. So he was probably the rookie of the year. And since he got injured, he ain't been there. He ain't been the guy. Now, it's a make it or break it year for him. And to be honest with you, I'll take him over Miles Jack 40 times than anything. I don't trust Miles Jack at all. We watched Joe Schobert fail there. So that was year after Joe Schobert was an all-pro the year after. So that's what I'm telling you. If we got all-pro Joe failing and now not even the league, I don't trust Miles Jack. I'm sorry.
No,
so
duly noted.
He's on my follower list. He's on. Go ahead.
I was just I think I like that Mark Robinson. I think he gets a little rotation in there and those middle linebackers.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm curious to see that. I'm kind of pulling for that guy.
Honestly, I would like to see them bring Terrell Edmonds up to linebacker and move. Let's move Terrell Edmonds down. Bring Norwood back to play safety next to Fitzpatrick, who's like had 130 tackles or something last year. So like 100 solo tackles. Fitzpatrick did. So move Norwood back, bring Edmonds into the box. Let's get rolling. I would love to see that personally. I don't know if they'll do it, but they should do it. Deion Jones. Listen, man, I ain't never been a fan. Everybody's like, oh, did you see how good he played for those 5 games he was in this year when he wasn't injured? Yeah, bro, it's 5 games. And then they keep moving on from Devondre Campbell and Oluokun, and they kept this dude, and those dudes are blowing up. And Devondre Campbell's looked good for the Cardinals. He's looked good for the Packers. He's looked good for the Falcons. And the Packers like, listen, man, we ain't letting you get away. 5 years, $10 million a year. Here you go. Like, you staying with us. Have a good day. And they're smart. Like, Atlanta's not smart. Let's keep Deion Jones, who keeps getting injured, and we keep having to pay him money. And now came off a shoulder injury. Now you put him back on the PUP list, because he got injured again in camp after you brought him back too early. Listen, he's the biggest faller I've ever had. I mean, everybody's like, oh, he's a top 10 guy. Dude, he ain't been a top 10 linebacker except for, points per game when he plays in 6 games a season. So I'm not a Deion Jones guy. I never have been. I had somebody ask me if I thought he would be good to trade for. I'm going to shout out to my guy, Billy, real quick. He told me today he traded Traylon Burks for Odell Beckham and Deion Jones. And I told him there's no way I'd do it.
What? 2 guys that ain't even going to play?
Exactly. He's like, well, Deion Jones is could be a top 20 linebacker when he's in. I'm like, if he ever comes back, all it takes is him to tear his shoulder again in practice. I mean, the dude's coming off of 4 injuries. 4.
I don't think he's even going to be available for week 1.
And I don't think Odell comes back before Christmas. So there's that.
Right.
I mean, I legit here at Toilets and Titles, my man coach says Odell will be back before Christmas. I don't believe so. Tore his ACL in the Super Bowl in February. Sorry, man. I just don't believe that you're coming back to put in snaps, on the field before Christmas. It might be good after, but I wouldn't bring him back before. My last faller, I hate to do this, is Blake Martinez. But he's on people's top 10. And you and me talked about this before. I'm like, you know what? Just keep hearing this rumor that they're worried about his knee. And, we were going to put this list out last Tuesday. And I apologize. I got sick. I had some issues. A lot of family stuff come up. So we're a week late. But this list hasn't changed for all of us. And Blake Martinez was on it the day before cut day. And I was like, man, did I miss on? I just had him as a faller because I didn't think he'd have a great year. He got released.
Right.
I mean, what's even worse is he ain't signed with nobody. Washington, come on, make the phone call. Like, Washington's got to make this phone call. If I'm the Cowboys, I make a phone call. I mean, if I'm the Broncos, I make a phone call. If I'm the Chargers, are in that weird spot. We don't know who Drew Tranquil better than. Come on, bro, get out of here. You tell me Drew Tranquil. I mean, I'm gonna put him right next to Kenneth Murray,
right,
and let him groom him a little bit. Because everybody talks about how great of a locker room guy Blake Martinez is, and he's led the league in tackles. So he knows what he's doing. Apparently, it was a mutual parting ways, and it just happens. But, bro, I cannot believe I had to put this guy on my list. I just keep hearing this stuff out of camp. Like, man, this can't be real.
Right.
But then we didn't see him in games, and here we are. What do you think is going to happen with Blake?
I think he'll still get picked up. I mean, somebody's going to take a chance on that guy. They're going to really go evaluate him medically and all that stuff and make sure that their investment's going to, do great. Or like you said, sometimes them guys get picked up for locker room, morale to get picked up or what have you. But Blake Martinez, if he's not signed within, I'll say 4 weeks, I think he's got to be signed somewhere within the next 4 weeks. If not, then maybe there's something more to it than what we know. As far as the Claire himself and his productivity and all that is off the charts, but maybe there's something behind closed doors we don't know. So if it's health related, I think it's just a matter of time. And if maybe it's not and it goes longer, that's what I would speculate. It is sad.
I'm with you. I'm just a little worried about it.
Yeah.
I think he's a dude. I really do. I just love to see him step up and get his chance somewhere else. We'd be moving to number 3 team, and I'm just as a fan in general of the guy, and just to see him in the locker room, I could put him in 5 places and absolutely love him.
Right.
I could put him in Seattle. I could put
go
him
to Atlanta.
In Washington, Dallas, Carolina, the Saints. Like this, the
Next
Saints
to
isn't.
Oof.
Yeah, I would really like that. Those two. I think Davis is on his last leg either way.
Oh yeah, he's getting.
Let's talk about your Bills.
I know. No, I don't want that headache.
You wouldn't take him over Milano right now? Right now.
Oh man. I probably would, I guess, but I'd almost try to find a way to have them all on the field, to be honest with you.
The only way you're doing that is you go legit go to a 4-3. So
Gonna have to Yeah, so somebody's gonna have to come on, maybe take a defensive lineman off the field or something.
Depending on the group, and I just think that he could be used on at least 10 teams right now. I mean, that just aren't locked up at linebacker. Like I said, I'd love to see him at the Chargers. I think because a lot of teams are going to pass against the Chargers, but you put him on in a group where he has to do a lot of tackles in a run heavy division, right? I mean, you got to look at different spots.
Houston,
and Houston's be a great one. The Titans. I mean, if Shaq Leonard's injury happens, then I'm calling Blake Martinez tomorrow.
right?
And I mean, because I'll move Okereke outside and put him inside, and let's get rolling, dude. I mean, that's exactly what I would do. All right, again, great week. It's game week, and Thursday we're going to pop out another list let's get on together. We'll talk about your boys are playing on Thursday night.
I know it, man. I know. I'm excited. Finally.
We'll do a quick stardom, stidham, list for the weekend on Thursday morning. If you're available, if not, then I'll just go by myself, but we'll figure it out either way. Quick stardom, stidham. We might even go live that morning just to have a good time and see what we're about. But again, it's great to have you on, Russ. Nino had some technical difficulties. The season's finally here, and go check out the Patreon at Towards the Titles. We're growing. We're over 700 subscribers on YouTube, so give them a check. Patreon levels 1 through 5. 5's all about you. You pay it. You ask us. We're in on you every day. Talk to us. Get in the Discord, and we're here for you every week. Remember, until next week, ladies and gentlemen, let's go, let's go, let's go.